Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video, we're going to talk start collecting Kings of War, and today we're going to take a look at the Ogre Army set and have a look at all the models inside the box set, how we can build them up, what options this provides with, how they briefly work on the tabletop, and indeed, then start looking at some other units we can use to expand upon this initial purchase. We'll then finally finish off the video with a little sample army list of 1,000 points for you to use, hopefully as some inspiration for starting your own Ogre army in Kings of War. And to begin with, first of all, we have 18 Ogre Infantry. Now these can be built as a variety of different models and in some different loadouts for approximately units. So first of all, we have the Warriors, and they can be built as, your standard warriors with the hand weapons and shields, or I say hand weapons, for most other creatures, they're probably too big to even be great weapons. But you are going to have a bunch of these. They have Crushing Strength 1, which is just Ogre's standard army-wide. You've also got Brutal in there as well. Now, they have 9 attacks at melee 3+, and a defense 5+, while they have these shields. You do have two-handed weapon options inside the box as well for your Ogre Warriors. This will drop their defense down to a 4+, but they will get Crushing Strength 2 instead of 1 when they do so. You can also take a Croco Dog with you as well. This is an army special upgrade where once per battle, when the unit rolls to hit melee, you can choose to reroll up to 3 dice that score a natural unmodified 1, though the Croco Dog is removed as soon as you do this. Now, lastly, inside this, for the particular Ogre Infantry, we can build up some Boomers. Okay, Boomer, well, what do? They have 9 attacks in a regiment or 18 in a horde. They're a shooting unit with range 4+, brutal and crushing strength 1, so still pretty decent in a fight, and defense 4, melee 4+, so, they're pretty good in a fight for a shooting unit. They have boomsticks, so they're a 12-inch range, piercing 1 with stay aim. Now, the character we get inside this box set is the Ogre Warlock. This is a large infantry hero, spellcaster 1, and comes standard with Lightning Bolt. But it also has the Brutal, Crushing Strength 1, Inspiring, and Nimble, so it is still, pretty fighty Ogre, though it only has 2 attacks. But it has the Ogre Warlock rule as well. For each friendly core, large infantry regiment, large infantry horde, or legion within 6 inch, you increase the amount of dice rolled for Drain Life, Fireball, Lightning Bolt, and Mind Fog by 1 to a maximum bonus of +3. Now, like I said, you've got Lightning Bolt 3 as standard. You can take Drain Life, Fireball, Mind Fog, and you also have access to Blood Boil, which is a really interesting spell as well. One of the more unique spells in the game. Now, looking at where to go next for the Ogres, and first of all, let's talk about the Chariots. Now, the Warrior Chariot box, this is the current chariot box, and it provides you with, just as I said, Warrior Chariots. Now, they can be taken in troops of 2, regiments of 3, hordes, and a legion, so you can get a pretty decent amount of these chariots on the table. Crushing Strength 1 with Brutal and Thunderous Charge 2. They are your hand weapon and shield wielding ogres inside with a defense of 5+, but you also have the ability to build them up if you want to, with some of the spare guns you've got from your other models, and especially with your starter set, you can build them up as Boomer Chariots as well. These will give you the Aura Stealthy, Brutal, Crushing Strength 1, and Boomsticks on top, same as the regular Boomers, so a nice alternate sort of build for this particular kit. Now, the one thing Ogres do lack is numbers, but they do have some ways to play around this, and this is with the various Red Goblin units. For me, filling up our lines and providing some nice flank support so our big Ogre blocks don't get tied down in fighting in flanks and rears and all of that sort of stuff, I think Red Goblin Sharpsticks are a really fun unit. Now, you obviously could take the Red Goblin Rabble if you want as well. They're, really dirt cheap, but I think the Phalanx Rot on the Sharpsticks really does help keep them in the fight that little bit longer. Lastly, though, we have Ogre Hunters, and I really like these for a similar reason I like the Chariots. The Chariots provide us with a fast-moving, heavy-hitting Ogre unit. The Hunters aren't quite as fast as the Chariots. They've got a movement of 7, so they're slightly faster than regular Ogres, but not as fast as Chariots. Regular Ogres being 6, Chariots being 8, Hunters fit nicely in the middle of 7. You've got Brutal, Crushing Strength 1, but you also have Ensnare in there for some good defensive power with your defense of 4+ as well. Pathfinder and Slayer in melee as well will have a nice D3 on that Slayer roll. Now, the reason I like Hunters is that Pathfinder ability, the ability to move through a bunch of terrain without penalty, is super, super useful in games. They can also take the crocodiles as well if they want. And so here we have our Ogre Force. Now we're going for pretty standard Ogre army. I mean, the initial box set gives you a lot of points worth of Ogres right from the get-go. So it really is, if you're wanting to get an army on a cheaper sort of level, the Ogre army definitely is one of them that will get you an army on the table nice and cheap. Now, we've got a warrior horde to begin with. This is going to have a crocodile that's going to give our Ogre Warlock the ability to be unlocked. We've also got the hero there, and he's going to have a Drained Life and Blood Boil. Drained Life is really nice for being able to heal your big Ogre units, and Blood Boil is just a really interesting spell. You've definitely got other options you can play around with. There's obviously looking at artifacts and stuff like that. For your first few games, I don't worry about artifacts. I just play with stuff that's on the actual unit entries, but certainly can have a look there if you're not wanting to take both these spells. We then have the other warrior unit, and this is going to have 2 hand weapons and the crocodile. So we've got one that's going to be that defense 5, one that's going to be the crushing strength 2 as well. We then have a boomers in a horde. Now, yes, they are a shooting unit. They're actually also going to provide us with another combat unit. So we've got 3 Ogre units in a line. And then we have a Warrior Chariots regiment, which will provide us with a really fast-moving, heavy-hitting, damage-dealing unit with that Thunderous Charge 2 and Crushing Strength on the charge. It's going to be a really powerful unit on the tabletop. But if you've been playing with the Ogres in Kings of War, if you've got them, let us know how you've been going, your favourite units, how you would start with this particular army box down in the comments below. And so that is the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to come chat more with me, we have a Discord server for the channel, and that is linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel. This is either via Patreon or YouTube members using one of our affiliate links and codes down there, like Baron of Dice, Gap Games, or Mithras Games, or by supporting us directly on Patreon or YouTube members. If you'd like to do any of those, we have links for that all in the description. And as a special thank you to our Patrons and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons: Soren, Kenny Lowell, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Q Dynamic, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Benjamin Swallows, Red Martin, Iron Grinch, Colorblind Magic, Grimscold, and Andy C. And our YouTube members: Greenridge Gaming, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, James Tillman, Disco, and John Castle. Lastly, a special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork you see on the channel. Once again, everyone, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.